YouTube, welcome back to the channel. So let's get straight into this video. I want to talk about how you're a universal person. So what I mean by you're a universal person, I mean you have the ability to connect with people from all over the world. And when I say a chosen one doesn't fit in the world, I don't mean that you're like an outcast. You just don't necessarily fit in anywhere, right? But it works out in your favor because you don't fit in anywhere. You're able to connect with people from all over, different cultures, different races, different backgrounds, different whatever, right? Different all this human-made creations. And you've probably seen this before. You've probably been able to hang out with anyone. It didn't really matter where they're from, what their religion background is, what their race is, what their political party, whatever preference is, what kind of culture they have, what kind of background they have, what they do, what kind of stereotypes they have, right? You probably never cared about any of these things, right? Because you always knew that these things were created just for people to label other people. Because people naturally like to put people in boxes, right? They like to say, oh, this person's like this, they're from here, they were born here, they talk like this, they're this person, right? But you, on the other hand, you've always been able to see past it. This is why I like to say that you're a universal person. And this is for people who resonate with this. But if you do resonate with this, you know what I'm talking about. Since you're able to see past all these things that man has created, right? Because none of these things matter. The only truth is that people are made in the image of God. Everybody's the same, right? And because you've been this way, you've been able to connect with people from anywhere, right? People that are considered the complete opposite of you, right? You've probably been able to hang out with them, like actually like connect with them and like vibe with them and everything like that. And that's what makes you get a lot of attention, right? Because when people see you, like they could probably see where you're from, like the obvious things, where you're from, what your race is, what you do and everything. But there's something like a little bit different about you, right? Because it comes in the spirit. They're like, wait, hold up, there's something different about this person. Like on the surface, I see this, but there's something else about this person. There's something different about this person. And it draws people in because they see you and they're like, wait, this person doesn't look like they're judgmental, right? This person looks accepting of me. This person looks like they're not going to look at me a different way. This person looks like they're not going to label me, right? Because you have someone who has empathy, because you come from God, right? You're a chosen one of God. You're going to have empathy. You're going to have a lot of empathy. So because you have empathy, you've been able to draw a lot of people. Because when people see you, they see somebody that's like safe. They see somebody that's loving, that's like powerful, right? They don't see somebody that's like a tyrant, or they don't see somebody that's a bully. They don't see someone that's manipulative. That's what they see, right? So you've been able to attract people from all over different parts of the world, all different types of cultures, all different races, all that stuff, right? You've been able to speak you've been able to speak and connect to any of these people. And this is just what you do. If you're chosen, this is what you're like, right? You don't necessarily fit in any box because it's not made for you. Because you've always known that these labels and boxes are just there to kind of like restrict you, right? Kind of try to give you this sense of self, right? But it's false. It's just like a restriction, right? Because you're naturally someone who wants to be completely free. You want to be like free as a bird, right? And since you're like that, you being this universal person, since you're this universal person, you're gonna be moving around the world, kind of like really fluidly, right? And what I mean by really fluidly, I mean that your social skills, pretty much your social skills, are something that's really, it's different, right? Like you may be someone that's like introverted or whatever, or you might be extroverted, but most likely you're probably in the middle, and like you like to be alone, but at the same time you like to socialize. But because you're this way, you've been able to socialize with pretty much anybody. You've been able to kind of talk about like way different topics because you have like a lot of knowledge, and you just naturally have like a lot of knowledge and you know about a lot of things. And like when you speak to people, they're like, hold on, like this person, like how does this person know this stuff? Or like why is this person saying this? Or why doesn't this person act like this? I thought they were going to be this way, right? You're someone who's kind of like otherworldly. Like that's what you seem like to people. If you resonate with this video, you just seem like someone that's from like another world, right? Because they see you, they're like, where, like, why is this person so, like, what is up with this person, right? Like this person's just different. Man, that's just how God made you, right? Because God, the people who God chooses, right? You're gonna be filled with truth. So you're gonna have you're gonna have eyes to see the truth about everything. So when you know stuff is false or is just surface level and everything, you're gonna expose it, right? You're gonna be like, oh, that's just like it's pointless. Like that stuff doesn't really matter. Like why would I judge someone because they're this way or they look like this or they're from here or they do this, right? And because you're this way, your life has never been restricted. You've been always able to kind of live freely, right? Because you didn't let anything kind of try to put you in a box, put you in a prison, right? And it rubs off on other people because you're this way. It makes other people feel free too. So that's why you've probably had people just like express themselves around you. Like it might be like a complete stranger, but like they'll tell you their life story or like they'll talk to you for like a long time. Or like they'll just want to like hang out with you or like want to know stuff about you, right? You just naturally just like draw people in, right? Because you're this universal person. You're this person that's never gonna put people down, right? Gonna judge people wrongly, gonna look at people differently, right? You're gonna treat everyone the same, and that's what people love about you. But at the same time, there's always a negative about things because you're this way. Also, ever since you're young, you could also been like pushed to the side, right? Because people didn't know how to connect with you. They're gonna be like, who is this person? Why doesn't this person fit in our cliques or like our cults, right? Like cult like things like that's never for you. You've never been someone to be like restricted to fit in like a cult or like something that puts people in a box, something that makes people kind of not think, right? You've never been that type of person. And naturally, people have always wanted to fit in together and be part of like a certain group. So whenever youth came around, you just stood out. You stood out like a sore thumb, right? You stood out like you never really fit in any certain group. Even if you did the same things as a group, you didn't necessarily fit in that group. It was just like a feeling that you had. It's just who you are, right? You're just naturally someone that's authentic. You can't just like act a certain way. You can't act how you're supposed to act, quote unquote, right? You're just like authentically you. And people have seen that before, and that makes a lot of people envious, right? Because people get envious of people who are themselves, because people want to be themselves. So people have a lot of fear, right? People are scared to be judged and everything. But for you, you've always just had this authenticity about you. You've always had this Godfidence, right? That's why I talk about the Godfidence, because it's just like this self assuredness that you have about yourself. Like you have this, it's in your spirit. You just feel powerful by yourself, right? You don't feel like you need to be around people. Like you want to be around people, but you don't feel like you need to. You don't feel like you need certain things to feel a certain way, right? You've always been this person, and people have gotten jealous about that because they're like, why isn't this person depressed because they don't have this or that? Why isn't this person angry because they don't have this? It's because for you, you don't put that much value in the things of this world, right? You knew that, there's some things that are fun, there's some things that are quote unquote valuable in the world, but you never really put anything on a pedestal. So you didn't really care that much. So people have never been able to control you with anything. People have never been able to like dangle like stuff like money in front of your face or like bribe you or like try to control you by certain things because you never put anything that high. You never worshipped anything, right? Other than God. So because you've never been anyone to do these things, to put things on a pedestal, you've always been free, right? And people have hated that. They wanted to control you, wanted to make you who they want to make you and everything, want to put you in like a box, put you in this, just to understand you. But you're not someone that could be understood, right? You're a universal person. Like the universe cannot be understood, right? It's God's creation. Like, what do we know really about the universe, right? So you're the same way. When people see you, like, they could try to figure you out, but it's not possible. They're gonna get a couple judgments in their head, but really that ended up false. So they're gonna get another thing. They're gonna think they figured you out, but they actually didn't, right? It's like the universe. People are gonna study the universe and think it's one way, but then they figure out another thing. They're like, no, it's really this way. Like scientists, right? Like they think one thing about the universe, and next year they figure out a whole different thing about it. They're like, wait, I was completely wrong about this. The universe is actually like this. And for you, they're like, I was completely wrong about this person. I mean, they were like, I was completely wrong about this person. This person's actually like this. And then they were wrong again. They're like, wait, this person's actually this way. And then they're like, wait, hold up, like, who is this person, right? But if you're watching this video, though, just know that you're someone who's just completely otherworldly to other people. And this video isn't to blow your head up, right? I know a lot of people want to like feel good about themselves, and like, yes, this makes you feel good about yourselves, but this is just true for just who you are, right? Just who you are in your spirit. Like you'll know this is for you if you truly like actually like resonate with this video. But when you look at yourself and you've seen the way you've maneuvered in the world, and you see how other people maneuver in the world, then you're like, okay, hold up, like I am like there's something else over here. There's something different about me. I don't know what it is, but something different, right? The different thing is that you're chosen, right? You have a different purpose. You've been gifted with different spiritual gifts, right? Not everyone has spiritual gifts. You've been gifted these from God. So you're going to be different. You're going to be a universal person when you have spiritual gifts because you have discernment. You see the truth about everything, right? You see what's right and wrong. You have a strong morality to you. You have a strong authenticity to you. That's why I spoke about a long time ago in an older video where a chosen one can't act fake, right? Because you're someone who's heavily convicted. You have a strong intuition. So when you act fake, you're just like, you kind of start cringing. You're like, that's not even me. Like, why would I act like that, right? But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Of course, don't forget to like, don't forget to comment. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And I'll see you guys in the next video.